Hi. Game trailers are short videos that showcase a game's features, story, and gameplay. They are used to sell the game and market it, but differently from regular ads, they can be way more creative in what they show and how they are made. If you're familiar with my YouTube content, you might know that I love making game montages, and sometimes they resemble trailers, and sometimes I make them. Clearly I have an obsession with trailers, and in this video I want to talk about what makes a good trailer, which ones to me are perfect, and why they are so important in the first place. Keep in mind, these are all my opinions and I'm no expert. I just see what works and what most people like. There are several types of trailers that each serve a different purpose and are made differently because of it. The types of trailers I'll be focusing on are reveal trailers, story and gameplay trailers, live action and CGI trailers, and launch trailers. Story and gameplay trailers are usually one and the same. They show off story and gameplay by showing in-game footage, whether it be cutscenes or gameplay. These trailers try to present the vision of the game as much as possible. Story trailers focus on the narrative, but they usually just tend to be gameplay trailers with more story-related things in it. That's why I like to refer to these as just the main trailers. Launch trailers are very similar. The difference is that these trailers are released a few days before or when the game releases. There is one negative of these trailers, is that for some reason they always contain major spoilers for the game. Main trailers can often show too much information, but with launch trailers they show some kind of a reveal, final boss, or a twist that would be better left off being revealed in the game itself. Live action and CGI trailers. They fucking suck. The amount of effort, time and money that goes into them is a waste that would be better spent elsewhere. They don't show real gameplay, instead a false representation of it, along with a visual style that is either trying to be realistic or completely different from the aesthetic of the actual game. But they do have a place as reveal trailers. These trailers are always the first to come, as they are announcing a game that is being developed and showing what direction it's going in. That's why using live action and CGI for them makes way more sense, as the game might not be ready to be fully shown, and giving the audience the general idea of the setting and story through the aforementioned filmmaking methods is a smart move. But whenever it comes after the reveal or even as a launch trailer, it just seems wasteful in terms of game budget and time. Also, CGI trailers are notoriously hated on, because shockingly, people want to see what the game actually is like. The quality of a trailer really depends on the editing and the flow of it all, the ups and downs. What helps that process is music. Most important part to me especially is the rhythm to the editing itself. Dialogue and voice lines from the game can really add an impact to the trailer. They provide obviously story context to the audience, and depending on the game, it creates a certain mood for the trailer. Let's take Doom Eternal for example.
For millennia we have survived, made others sacrifice in the name of our prosperity. Who are you, a human, to defy our traditions?
The voice lines convey a grand, over-the-top atmosphere where you are fighting against all odds. And now let's take Red Dead Redemption 2.
You have to love yourself a fire. It's one of the blessings. Sure, we can have fire. And we can have the knowledge of fire. But with that comes the knowledge of everything.
It gives off a sour and foreboding tone, showing complexity in its story. And of course, music plays a huge part in both of these trailers. That's because music is very important. The amount of artists and songs that I found from trailers is huge, and if you go find the song, for example, on YouTube, you'll find comments referencing the trailer. This lone fact shows how important music is for trailers and how they can introduce you to new music genres and artists. Common mistakes I see a lot of indie game trailers do is that they have no in-game sound in their trailer. It's a seemingly minor thing, but without those sounds, the trailer loses a lot of impact. To show you what I mean, I will show you a segment I edited with sound and without. And now with sound. Another mistake I see a lot is just in the editing itself. The flow is too slow, that there's no rhythm, and the trailer cuts happen in the most random parts. Or the opposite could happen, is that the trailer is edited way too fast for the music that's being worked with, which is something I've done myself when making trailers. Another thing that irritates me a lot is when a trailer has HUD elements on. Because of them, a trailer can look like a hastily edited together gameplay segment rather than something made for the trailer specifically. Even bigger companies do this from time to time. All these mistakes are pretty minor but overall matter a lot. Most indie developers don't have enough resources to get someone to edit a trailer for them, so they just do it themselves, and that's why these mistakes happen. But instead of rambling about various aspects, I think it's better if we look at a trailer which I consider to be near perfect. And that is the gameplay trailer for Metro Exodus.
Not fear the heretics at our door. Even with their iron steeds standing before us, stinking.
It begins with environment shots and narration, giving story details to the viewer.
Remember, most of the country has been destroyed or occupied. Even those who speak our language might be enemies, by conviction or out of fear.
This trailer only focuses on one chapter of the game, but still manages to vary up the shots so they don't look repetitive.
For this is our hour of glory. Amen!
Let's move out, Artyom.
Right on this line, the gameplay starts and the song's vocals kick in. Various guns get shown off, then new mechanics in the game. Through a helmet wipe transition, the game shows off that there will be a weather system and you can visit the same place twice. Music ramps up, narration comes back, whilst returning mechanics from the previous games get shown one after the other.
Fanatics think.
Then action. Music slows down, and as it's rising back up, the player himself is pulled up in unison. Then action. The only fault I see in this trailer is the ending, because it spoils the section of this game's story. But the way they structured all of the trailer, they kind of had to end it that way. I like the flow in this trailer the most, as it's constantly but slowly rising, right until the last big moment.
Jump!
And of course it was elevated by the music from the artist Massive Attack. And it's another trailer that introduced me to a music artist that I really like now. A trailer that sets the tone perfectly is the story trailer for Doom Eternal. Imagine this, you're watching a games conference, wading through so much slog and people just rambling about various bullshit up until 5 AM. And then you see this. In 3 seconds, this trailer perfectly sums up the tone of the game, and what comes after is just as cool.
They are no longer your people to save.
All the trailers from Doom Eternal are really well made, and I rewatched them a lot, and I took inspiration from them by making montages myself. But a fault in these trailers that I see, it's that it's choreographed. The enemies are slower or just stand there waiting to be killed, and they are placed in areas that they aren't in the full game. It's a very common technique to do in trailers. It's done because normal gameplay can tend to look chaotic, and it makes sense. But I believe you can find a balance that won't resort to making, in lack of any better words, fake gameplay. Another trailer that actually made me emotional is for a game called Skate Story. Together with music, visual, sounds and text, the trailer conveys a beautiful melancholic journey through the underworld. The text in the trailer plays a big part. It controls the flow of the trailer as it appears during the breaks and rises in the song. But what's said is what makes the trailer so impactful. Hasn't been released yet, but reading through the description and in general the Twitter posts, it's clear that the trailer nails the atmosphere perfectly. There's a lot of trailers that I could talk about. Elden Ring's gameplay trailer that has amazing rising flow, from beautiful cinematics in the start and boss fight after boss fight at the end, showing the grandness of the game.
For how else is a champion or a lord to be born?
The newly released PAYDAY 3 trailer makes an interesting choice to not use in-game sounds at the start to build tension, until finally releasing it with in-game sounds and the music style that PAYDAY is known for. Also, I love this title drop. It's just a basic cut, but the music carries the weight of the title. And the trailers for Wolfenstein Youngblood that were disliked for some reason, despite them using Carpenter fucking brute for every trailer and having amazing editing on top of it. The gun syncing the music, for example, that I showed earlier.
Alright, Jess, what's the plan?
Find our dad and kill Nazis.
I could be here all day talking about trailers I like, but in the end, what makes them so important? For one, trailers are responsible for the very first impressions of the game, whether it be the reveal itself or later main trailers that showcase gameplay and story in its fullness. The way you present the game in trailers is very important. It can make a good game look worse and a bad game look better. It also can represent the core of the game in a better way than just a gameplay video can. The gameplay videos for Doom 2016 were very slow and followed a planned out route, but the game itself was fast paced and full of action, which was way better showcased in the trailers rather than the long gameplay sessions. Even though the trailers themselves are still choreographed, what mattered is that it showed the essence of the game way more clearly. Another reason why I find trailers so important is the reaction of the people watching.
Oh my god!
Mirror's Edge 2! Mirror's Edge 2! Mirror's Edge 2, motherfuckers!
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Trailers can make people feel excitement like no other. Whenever you're waiting in anticipation for your favorite game to come out, you have trailers to keep that hype up. How many times have you been hyped for a game and once you see the trailer, it fills you with excitement, and so you watch it over and over again until the game comes out. And even after that, you come back to it, especially if it's a well put together trailer. Watching game conferences is one of the best things for people who love video games. They're always filled with announcements, reveals, and showcases for the most creative stuff out there. And trailers are at the core of that. And that's why I'm bursting my way into this very specific medium to make the best trailers that I can. I want people to feel hyped and excited about something that they love, and to also enjoy a well-crafted video on top of that. So if you're a game developer watching, what do you take from this? Hire me to make a game trailer for you, thank you for watching!